And welcome to episode 43 of the Retrocast.
Yay.
Oh, yay, we're here. No agenda, we're going off the cuff pretty much.
It's been made very apparent early on that we were going off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Quick turnaround, not a whole lot of time to play the games as per usual from all of the things that we were doing in April, namely me being away for like half the month.
I think I missed everything in April, didn't I?
I think you did, yeah.
I'm an asshole. That's fine.
But we're all here today. We're going to be talking. The theme is sequels. That's it. How about that, right?
Very unspecific.
It's just the game has to be a sequel. That was it. That was the whole thing. Made it easy, right?
Well, no, because I was like, oh, what about a threequel? And you're like, fuck you. And then I was like, what about Mario Lost Levels? You're like, fuck you. And I was like, why you gotta shit on me, JD? Come on.
It's got to be the second game, hence the word sequel.
It is the second game.
Not threequel or fourquel or whatever they call it.
Lost Levels is the second game. Don't fuck with me.
Technically, it's not.
I hate you so much.
It's more like I don't know what they called it. I was looking up Mario Lost
Bastard
Levels.
child. It's a bastard child.
Yeah. It was defined as something weird. I'm like, no, come on. There's plenty of games with the number 2 in it. Just pick something.
It's very hard on the spot, especially when I'm at work. And I'm like, I don't know games that have 2 in them. As Uncharted 2 is my favorite game of like all time. I'm like, I don't know any games with 2.
So yeah, that's our theme today. We got some interesting topics to lay out. Mostly something like Earthworm Jim being an exclusive for a console that's coming out in 2020.
Yeah, that is a thing, right?
Yeah. We got Randy Pitchford of Borderlands just throwing a pissy fit.
Uh-huh.
Things he does.
Things that happen. And I think those are only 2 topics that were really jumping out to me. Oh, and the Sonic movie trailer thing that everyone's kind of laughing at.
Why does it exist?
Why does it exist, indeed.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought
so
the
as
movie
we
was never
do,
gonna happen.
As we do, this is the Red Leaf Retrocast. I'm your host, JD, joined here with Colin.
Hello.
And the finally returning Kevin.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
The cardboard cutout has come back to life.
Oh, you guys got a cardboard cutout of me?
We've had that since like episode 2.
We've been using it as a dartboard.
That's fair. I mean, that's pretty much what my normal life is like, so I get it.
Well, how is normal life going?
Busy. I've been lucky enough for the past like year and a half to work like really close to my house, so I can like get home and be like 2 minutes after work, I'm like, I'm here, and now I'm finally like going 40 to an hour away, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time to do things anymore. This sucks. But I was very lucky, and then the work hours are all over the place and like really long because, you know, money. So it's just been a very rough adjustment period, and I'm sleepy, and no amount of caffeine can fix my problems.
Ooh.
I feel you.
Over time, I'm sure. Yeah, it'll get better. But I've played and beat some things. I got engaged, if that's a big deal or something. I don't know.
No, that's yesterday's news.
Yeah, you're right. You know, that's so last week. Yeah,
we were already talking about my little brother getting married. We don't need to talk about other people getting married anymore.
Fucking lamos. So yeah, that happened, and then, you know, everything's just been eating up time. But I found time to beat 2 games I've been wanting to play for a while, so that's nice. Yeah. Oh, should I go into that now? I don't know.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, cool. I decided I wanted to play a Final Fantasy, but I couldn't figure out which one. And I feel like I've been spending too much time playing, like, newer stuff, being, like, PS3 and up. So I was like, I need to play something old. So I remembered I had the Final Fantasy 5 and 6 disc, and I played Final Fantasy 6. And that's a good game.
That's a good one.
It's a good game. I almost got really mad at it.
It's hard as shit at the end.
Yeah, so it is. But the problem is, like, the whole beginning of the game, I was like, I'm over-leveled. I'm doing great in this game. Like, and I was following a guide, but the thing is, the guide didn't really specify what was a side quest and what wasn't. So I did a lot of extra stuff, and it got to the point where I was at the cultist tower, where you can only attack with magic. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, that part pissed me off. I was like, wow, this game was really great till this point, and luckily I have a friend who was like watching the streams coming in, and he's just like, this is optional. I was like, the fucking what? Oh, so I
remember when I popped in Final Fantasy VI for the first time, and I finally got to that part, I go, nope, this is no fun. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I was
hope
almost
this isn't mandatory.
Yeah, so I let that go, but that game overall, like, I was pretty over-leveled. I think I got through Kefka's tower. Like, well, I had to turn it off, but like the second time I fought him, I beat him, so it wasn't terribly hard. And then I lied and said I was going to take an RPG break, like I do every time I beat an RPG.
Right.
And I'm going to start Dragon Quest probably after this cast.
Which Dragon Quest?
2 on Game Boy Color.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try that out.
Bold choice.
Yeah, I literally used a randomizer to pick what game am I gonna play.
Did you ever beat Dragon Quest V?
5.
We played it for the cast like way long ago. I think it was the RPG cast.
Yeah. I had the Super Famicom one. No, I didn't. It was just because I was playing so much other stuff. But actually, maybe I should do that instead. That'd be smarter.
I'd be curious to hear your thoughts over the end game or at least the midpoint on to the end game.
Is it worth getting the DS copy though?
Ooh, I mean, I have it, but I mean. The DS copy does a lot of good things and improvements to it, but I don't know. There's something just really nice playing it on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. All right, I got the cart, so I might do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have both versions, and I quite liked it.
Yeah, and then I beat Infamous, actually, this morning. Good game. Just one problem is traversing the city just kind of sucks. I don't really like the open worldness of it. It just doesn't work for that game for me.
That was kind of a common complaint with it because it has this open world design, but it's not supposed to be. Right, the game doesn't want you to explore because of the way it's all set up, and everyone starts getting pissed off at you the more you play the game.
Yeah, you really don't need to do anything, and there's Reapers and Dustmen everywhere who are just like, fuck that guy, so you're getting shot at all the time. And
you're meant to kind of pick your path of least resistance within the city. That's the idea behind it. It makes sense if your whole goal is to just go mission to mission, right?
Right. And like if you stay on the rooftops, you're safe-ish. Yeah. There's like 1 or 2 enemies, but sometimes you have to go on the street, and like if there's a truck with a turret, it's just, fuck you. So I just kind of, it was good. It's just, maybe the second one's better. I just haven't played it.
The second one did address that issue because a lot of people did want to just cause mayhem in the city, but not have a billion guys after him all the time.
I started playing as an evil guy, but I was a good guy. I feel weird being a bad guy in games because I'm like, there's no reason for me to be a dick. So
I think we discussed that in the last cast actually with a game, or it was 2 casts ago, didn't we, Colin? The appeal of being a good guy and bad guy? Maybe I'm making that up in my head.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it is. So maybe when I do 2, I'll just bite the bullet and be like, I'm an asshole now. What else did I beat something else? No, I didn't. I started Untold Legends on PSP because reasons. That's okay Diablo clone, I guess.
Don't think I've heard
Yeah,
of
my
that
brother
one.
really liked it for the PSP.
It's not mind-blowing. It kind of does the Oblivion style of quest, be like, go here, and good luck if you remember how to get there. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'll figure it out. It's nice enough to give you a map, be like, it's over here, generally. So good luck.
So just a follow-up question to the Final Fantasy VI.
Yes.
Where does that lie now on kind of what you think or your favorite or best RPGs you've played?
Ooh. Oh, of all RPGs?
That you've played, experienced.
I thought you were gonna have me rank Final Fantasies. That would have been way easier. Let's see.
I mean, that would give people a benchmark, I guess.
For Final Fantasies?
Yeah.
All right. So I've played. Let's see. I played 3, 4, 6, 7, and 10. So I guess if I had to pick the top 3, it'd be 10, 6, 7, 4, and then 3.
So you still have 10 ranked the highest.
Yeah, 7 was good, but honestly, like, I don't know. I kind of remember the end of 7 being like, I kind of want this just to be over, guys. Like, let's move along. And then also 10 had Lulu, so there's that. Just, tits.
I think Final Fantasy VI gets overlooked a lot because of the 3 games that came after, the 4 games that came after it, actually.
I mean, 6 is good. It's just like, I also, maybe it was, it's probably my controller, but like a lot of characters had special techniques that didn't use magic. So I was like, well, why would I ever use magic until a point in the game came to like, yo, I hope you've been using magic. I'm like, no. Why do I need to use magic on this guy? He knows a Kamehameha. Why would I not do that all the time? They're like, yo, you should probably know some magic, though. I'm like, I don't want to. And then there was what was it? The Prince character had like this move that it was a hidden tool he gets called the chainsaw. And it does a lot of damage, but once in a while he decides to get like real, ballsy. He's like, I'm going to go for my insta-kill. I'm like, it never works. Stop doing it. So, and then you just waste a turn with that. So then I had to use the slightly weaker move that's a guaranteed hit. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, but I want to use the good one. Yeah, some abilities weren't really clear, but that's like old game design problems. So I kind of overlooked it. Final Fantasy VI, it's a good game. It's, am I probably going to play it again? No, because it was long. What are you, insane? Actually, my buddy said he beat it 11 times. I'm like, play something else. Literally anything. Think about it, like how much of your life has been just Final Fantasy VI.
And when you really, really like something, you want to squeeze as much enjoyment out of it as possible.
I
speak from experience.
I love Persona 5, but I ain't going to play that again. Like, that was 100 hours. The most I'll get out of that is Smash.
My experience is back from a time when I didn't have a job and responsibilities to look after.
That also helps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of, this is off topic, but that Persona Hyrule Warriors or Dynasty Warriors style thing coming to Switch, fucking wild, right?
Oh, I did read that.
They're
turning all the Persona characters into a Dynasty Warriors game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Huh, I don't think I heard about that.
Dude, the rumor for a while was Persona 5S. It's going to be a Switch port. It's going to be a Switch port. And then it's just like, nah, man. Fucking left field. Never saw that coming. Ha, I get it.
Yeah, it's a cash grab game. Anytime a game comes out where it copies the Dynasty Warriors formula, it's a cash grab. The game's not going to be very good.
I disagree. I love those games.
Yeah, people seem to like Hyrule Warriors a lot.
And Fire Emblem Warriors wasn't as popular, I feel like.
That's because it was a bad game.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Anyway, what else have I been playing? I don't know. Nothing great. Dead Cells still. I just haven't beat it, but that game's fun.
You'll never beat it. It's hard as shit.
Is it really that? Is it really that long?
Beat it one time.
Yeah, I got very close.
Almost. I got to the second to last boss.
Yeah. I got to the final boss when I was like on the most lucky run I've ever had, and I got to the final boss. I'm like, nope, okay, this is my time. But I don't know if I'm desiring to beat this game. Like, is it worth it? It's just good job you did it. I don't know.
I don't know. Kenny Omega said he beat it twice.
Well, he's fucking Kenny Omega. Like, of course he did.
If I had more time in the day, I'd probably have beaten it by now. But
yeah, maybe if there was more. Yeah, if there was more time.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. Like, I in my mind, I just thought about how long Dragon Quest is going to be. I'm like, maybe not right now.
You can go through Dragon Quest V pretty quick.
Yeah, is it that short?
It's as short as you want it to be.
Okay.
I think is that a good way to describe it?
I don't
like. You can make it an 80-hour RPG, or you can make it a 20-hour RPG, depending on how you want to play it.
That is such a wide gap, but all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all depends on how many like creatures you want to capture and level up, like Pokemon. You just want to play the story.
Yeah.
There,
That's fair. All right.
it gives a lot of wiggle room.
I'll give it a shot, I guess.
And it's my favorite RPG of all time now, so.
Yeah. All right, fair.
I want to know more of your thoughts over the second half.
I just time, man. Well, I'll try it. Anyway, Colin, how you been?
It's been kind of uneventful at work, so I've been able to play a lot of Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky on my Vita.
Oh,
Look at us getting the handheld PlayStation.
I thought you were talking about a mobile game because that name just sounds like broken Japanese or Chinese, like Heroes of Sky, Legend of the whatever it was.
Yeah, it's Legend of Heroes. Comes from the guy who made the East
Zelda
series.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still enjoying it. I've gotten past the prologue section, and I'm well into the chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on. There's just this whole... I mean, the plot seems to be moving kind of slowly, but it feels more like a slow burn to me. Like it's building up to something really cool. And
Yeah, games with long introductions, and I don't know. I get a real issue with them because it just feels like the game's just trying to pull more time out of you rather than give you a better experience.
yeah, but I think it's kind of similar to what you said, JD, about game is as long as you want it to be, because there's a bunch of side quests from the guild that you can do or not do. I'm doing as many as I can so I can stay leveled up, but yeah, that is kind of putting a lot of time into the game, but I'm still really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I mean, gameplay's still addicting as hell. Gameplay, level up system is the way the level up system works. It kind of reminds me of the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X,
Mm-hmm.
where you have these special devices that you put these magical stones into to give you special spells and stat attributes.
Right.
And you got fire spells, earth spells, all your Final Fantasy shit.
Yeah. The Legend game are pretty popular. Or Trails in the Sky, I meant. Trails? No, Legend of...
Yeah, see how when I'm talking about mobile game titles.
No, Kevin, I'm right there with you. Because there's, I think, 3 or 4 of those games on the PSP, and they're all solid.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. But you got it for the Vita, so...
It's the
Don't you
PSP
fart,
version on Vita.
It's
I don't
the
have
Vita
time
version.
to get myself an actual PSP and a UMD disc.
It's universal.
Yeah,
Colin,
it
come
works
on.
with everything. That's why it was the most.
It works with all kinds of PSPs.
That's why it was the most versatile format of the early 2000s. You just gotta believe.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I mean, I haven't had time to get back to Sekiro yet. Just didn't have the energy.
Yeah, me neither. That game kind of hurt my soul a bit after a while, if you know what I mean.
Soul, get it?
That's okay. I still plan on playing a lot more of it because I do really enjoy that game. But I also want to play a lot more of Devil May Cry 5. Like those 2 games this year are big standouts for me.
Yeah. When I haven't been, I've been watching through the Netflix Castlevania series. It's
all 8 episodes.
it's really good.
Hell yeah, it is.
Way better than I expected.
Dude, it's awesome. I love the Castlevania Netflix shows. Oh, it's as anime could be that wasn't made in Japan.
Yeah, really. At least there's no awkward lip syncing here, because it's designed specifically for the English voices.
Yeah, it's really good. I was pleasantly surprised with season 1. I was very happy season 2 turned out the way it did.
Yeah, the voice acting is stellar, just totally on point.
So, I got some games on sale during Golden Week, which is a big holiday week in Japan, so the PlayStation Store had a pretty interesting sale of what was going on. It was also coinciding with their Villains sale, which just meant they could put more games up for sale. But anyways, I finally got to play the Psychonauts PSVR game, Rhombus of Ruin.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just you're in the Psychonauts universe and everything's funny as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And because you're jumping into people's heads, you get a quick kind of, I don't want to say recap, but it really got me to remember all of why so many people enjoy the humor of that series, or at least the first game, because the sequel's coming out at some point, I suppose. Yeah. So that was good. I finally got the season pass for Final Fantasy 15 because it was like $5. So that was nice. So I started playing one of the extra stories, because you get 3 of them now, and there was supposed to be a 4th one and a 5th, but now they're not coming out because we discussed that prior.
Yep, director left.
Yeah, director left, so no more. So we just won't get any more of the story. So, yeah, as I started playing who's Noctis's ex-fat friend? What's his name again?
I don't know.
Anyways,
fat friend.
Yeah, he used to be fat, and then he ran a bunch, and then he got skinny, and then he joined up Noctis. Yeah, it's part of his little backstory. So I started playing his, and there's just major plot things purposely taken out of the story just for this. And that's what made Final Fantasy 15, like, the story just kind of come out of nowhere in a lot of areas, and you just left with just this huge gap in information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And playing these season pass stories just really made that even more apparent. It kind of made me more bitter towards how this game's release went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very happy about it.
Yeah.
But I am happy I am playing it for a much cheaper price than the $80 season pass that it was when it came out. Now I paid $5.
Yeah, speaking of Square DLC, it sounds like there's going to be some paid story DLC coming out for Kingdom Hearts 3. Just as you predicted, JD.
Not surprising.
But
Maybe they'll not come out with the last 2 chapters in that one too.
That'd probably be a great service to people, I'm just saying.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
Although the Critical Mode DLC that just came out is completely free, so...
What is that? I saw people freaking out over that.
Makes the game harder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing, actually.
Yeah, I would be a little more annoyed with the whole story DLC thing, but it's not much different from what they did with like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2's Final Mix games, because those added a little more story nuance into the new versions. So
yeah, there's a
new.
clear difference. I will say this: there's a clear difference between adding to the story and having things taken out of the story.
Yeah, I don't know if it's things being taken out of the story in this case, because it seems like...
No. What I'm saying is Kingdom Hearts is adding to the story, while Final Fantasy 15 took out parts of the story on purpose.
That makes sense.
Very... Ugh, it was gross. And then I got Watch Dogs 2 for like $7 on sale. It was 85-90% off or something insane.
Oh.
So I liked the first Watch Dogs. Like I got it on release, and it was a buggy mess, but I don't know. I find it absolutely hilarious when cars would morph into other cars because you hit it. It was funny, but things like that get frustrating. Watch Dogs' main issue to me was kind of its overemphasis on stealth, but it was clearly made to be an action game, so the stealth would barely ever work. It had glaring flaws and a very repetitive formula to it. So it's kind of like that standard, this game's a 7.5 out of 10 range. Like, okay, I can see that. Which, not saying those games can't be fun, but, after a while, you get tired of those things.
Yeah.
So then I just started playing the beginning of Watch Dogs 2, and it's night and day how much better this game is than the first one.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed syndrome.
What do you mean?
Well, everyone hated Assassin's Creed 1.
I loved it.
Well, not hated. All right, not hated, but it was kind of boring compared to 2. Let's put it that way. Ubisoft.
But Assassin's Creed 1 was a good game when it came out. Watch Dogs 1 was not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So Watch Dogs 2 stopped this crazy everything action element to it and really redefined, or not redefined, well, it has its same stealth element, but it actually makes it worthwhile to do that, and a lot of it works. More gadgets, all the things that should have been in the first game are now in the second game. So it's a true sequel that improves upon the first one in every way. I do recommend checking out Watch Dogs 2. I'm very, very satisfied with it. Yeah.
Maybe.
So I look forward to playing that. And then I got Final Fantasy VIII on sale to put on my Vita just because reasons. It's just one of my favorite nostalgia games of my childhood, so it's like, I gotta get this on my Vita. I have to.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I bought the Japanese version of World Ends With You for reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
That was on Vita?
No, DS.
Oh.
For me.
Got you.
Yeah. So, speaking of just topics in general, if we shall move on, we're just going to roll through this. It's going to be nice. Should I play drops today, boys? I don't really feel like it.
Just you can't not. We've already done it.
I can't not. We've established it. All right, I'll just play
Mega Man 2.
To be fair, I won't even know.
I don't have Mega Man yet.
You bastard.
Final Fantasy.
Hey dude, you into anime, manga, and all that radical stuff?
Oh yeah, man, it's tubular.
Then you should totally check out the...
This transmission has been hacked. If you want discussions, debate, reviews, and all in between, you must listen to the Anime Radicals Network at www.animeradicals.com. There's timely reviews, revolutions, mecha, and much more. Find it on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and all podcast catchers. The Anime Radicals Network.
The revolution will be simulcast.
I can't even hear it, so I don't even know.
There, I did it. I played a Final Fantasy drop because I was talking about it.
I believe you, because I don't know.
So, shall we talk about how bad looking Sonic the Hedgehog is for that movie that's coming out in November of this year?
What else can we say about it, though? Like, you know?
It looked like ass, and now they're changing it.
Oh, it looked like so much ass, and the outrage of just people making fun of it and being uncomfortable. The director finally just goes, I guess we should redesign him.
Hey, maybe don't make your game look like shit.
You never hear about like big time game devs or film directors actually listening to the fans.
I think they kind of had no choice because people were not going to see this movie with Sonic looking like that.
Yeah, I guess not. Plus, with competing with Detective Pikachu, I can imagine.
Exactly. But yeah. I have a feeling they're only going to change a bit of the face, and that doesn't make up for the rest of the body. Because when I saw that trailer, have both of you seen the trailer?
Yep.
Before I go on.
All I know about it is that Gangster's Paradise is playing, and everyone went, "Why the fuck is Gangster's Paradise playing?"
Yeah, really. I think it's just because 90s.
You could have picked anything else, though.
Yeah. The music did not match. What made me just really uncomfortable is when Sonic is stretching out his legs and he's got this tight ass. It's like, oh my god, ugh.
Oh, you just said tight ass. I thought you would be like tight ass something. I'm like, oh, tight ass. Oh.
Yeah, Sonic's got this tight ass and
hell yeah,
weirdly fit legs. He looks too human.
Yeah.
You know?
He's got a tight ass.
Yeah, Sonic has a tight ass. He's got to go fast, so, you know, he works out those butt muscles all the time.
I ain't gonna go fast, but I'm gonna come fast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. the humor just didn't do anything for me, but the design itself is just uncomfortable on so many levels. Whether it's the lanky arms, the tight ass, the humanoid legs to it. There's too many humanoid parts, and then you get to the face, and then it's just a monstrosity, right?
Can't help but feel like you're really hammering in this tight ass part.
Dude, it made me super uncomfortable, and it really sticks out.
This guy's such a tight ass.
What does everybody think about Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik?
He's carrying the whole movie, man. You know, good for him.
Jim Carrey's good. He looks like he's going to nail that role, but the rest of the movie looks like it's going to be absolute trash.
Yeah, really.
And you know what the worst part is? Everyone's going to go see it.
I don't think everyone's going to go see it. I think it's going to bomb.
I don't know.
Yeah, people might just go see it to laugh at it.
I feel like it's going to be the topic of every podcast to listen to come November.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure a lot of gamers and people in the recording world are going to go see it. I know I am not seeing that movie.
What I just don't understand is,
100%.
we have 3D Sonic games, so, why not make them look like that? Look like the thing that's been made already.
Yeah, it looks like they took the story from Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog and made a movie, but too much butt rock and humor to it.
Butt rock, eh?
Yeah, butt rock. I'm really hammering in the butt into this whole Sonic talk.
JD Assman confirmed.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to see it. I don't go to see movies in general. I went actually yesterday, as I say that, but I'm the only person that didn't see Endgame. So I'm like, why is nobody
I haven't
here?
seen it either, but that's only because I don't have time.
I'm not fucking sitting for 3 hours.
that's how long it is?
It's 3 hours and 1 minute long.
Oh, why?
Because nerds.
Because it's like the big culmination of 10 years worth of movies.
Yeah. So yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of the Marvel movies. I just got I got burnt out. That's what happened. I got burnt out of the superhero movies.
that was my issue too. I saw I saw the first Avengers, not really seeing anything before. I was like, sure, whatever. Everyone seems to be all about this. I made the mistake of going at midnight, and I had to see it in 3D because that was the only option. And that probably soured me. I was like, why am I here so long? Why do my eyes have to hurt this bad? Life doesn't have to be this way.
So yeah, the Sonic movie, we're really worried about it. We'll see what this final quote-unquote redesign is going to be. But
They just made it have Jigglypuff's eyes from Detective Pikachu, black and soulless.
Now, Detective Pikachu, that thing's going to make a fuck ton of
Because
money.
it's fun. Well, first of all, Ryan Reynolds is magic. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, okay, check. Yes.
I'm going to bang Ryan Reynolds, is what I'm saying. Anyway. It's a fucking great movie. It's simple. It didn't do anything more than it needed. Actually, you know what? I lied. It did way more than it needed to, but it did it right. That movie has no right to be as good as it's gonna be.
Yeah, you can already tell it's gonna knock it out of the park.
It's gonna be so cool, man.
Yeah. That one I'll probably go see.
You should.
Alrighty, so here's some fun news. A new Earthworm Jim game is in development for the new Intellivision console, and it's an exclusive
Yay!
to the Amico that's coming out in 2020.
Right.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it was also revealed that the Amico is looking to be a $149 to $179 price point. Games will be the $3 to $8 range, which they discussed before.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah.
Every title on the Amico will be exclusive to the platform. So it's giving you these games that you can't get anywhere else. That's kind of, I believe, what...
I wonder how tight that'll be kept, so they feel like you can't get this game here, but if you get, this game, Royal Edition, then you can.
I could see something along those lines be... yeah, the Royal Edition is going to be on the Amico... the best version with the most stuff, and then the base games could be on something else, and then you have to buy the DLC for the rest of the game on another platform. I could see something like that, totally. Just to work around that idea. So if you want the cheaper complete version, get the Amico version, right?
Maybe, because the Amico is gonna suck.
Well, how do you know it's gonna suck? Everything that's been being revealed and information, they're being very honest about it all. It doesn't. The guys behind it are very. They seem trustworthy with Tallarico.
Right.
What's happening? I
just don't see it working. I don't know.
It's tough to see it being successful right now.
I see Ouya too.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case.
I don't, man. They got touchscreen controllers. That's definitely a way to like not get me on board.
Well, they still have the disc pad.
Oh, and great! Then, yes, the best part of that system.
Well, I mean, if it's, I could see something along the lines of, you have it functions as a direction pad, which is what everyone wants, and then anything that comes on screen would be simple enough where you won't like miss a button or anything. It would just be a singular touch screen.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the peripheral option that you can simply just hook up your cell phone in case someone wants to join you playing. You don't have to buy extra controllers or whatnot.
That's the reason I don't play smartphone games. I don't have like physical feedback. Like I don't know what I'm touching. You're gonna have to constantly look down at the controller. Unless these games are so simple, and in which case they're boring. So it's like,
We'll find out if there's a true demand for this. It's going to be focused on 2D exclusives, I imagine, and we'll see if there's demand.
Every game is also going to be like super family friendly. Don't forget, so like you're not going to see like edgelord. That's the thing. If it's Earthworm Jim, that wasn't exactly like, not that it wasn't kid friendly, but it was a little like weird.
Well, what used to be not kid friendly back in the day on pixel games is not quite what we see today, right? We don't see dudes getting their head blown off and guts and brain everywhere. Like, in a pixel form, you can kind of get away with that.
Oh, man. Guess we'll find out. You're right. But I'm not going to be buying this thing personally.
Day one, no. I am very curious to know how it might turn out. I mean, the price point's a good start. I hope it doesn't go over that, because I think that's what would kill it.
What's
it goes over that price point? Anywhere between $150 and $180.
Okay,
so it's affordable. It's affordable.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing, I guess.
For a brand new console that is focusing on affordable games and the titles being exclusive, whatever that means exactly. I mean, it's coming out. I think it has more positive buzz behind it than negative, unlike the discless Xbox system that's coming out.
I'm fine with that thing.
$200+ with no Xbox Live or anything. If the whole thing's digital, so I don't know. It's a mess.
That's fine. Discs are pointless anyway. They are, man. There's no point to a disc anymore. I said it. Fight me.
Huh.
Look. I don't disagree, but if the hard drive space can't support the games that are out there, then why bother?
Because you can plug in any USB hard drive and it works. Fuck with me.
So instead of getting the physical games, you have to get physical hard drives.
Doesn't matter. The physical game still needs to be downloaded and installed. So why'd you buy a disc? Like,
so then when the server goes down in the future, well, sure. Anyways,
all the games are digital. Confirmed. The Illuminati's here.
It's gonna happen in time, just like music has become that way.
Hell yeah, man.
So, the funny news, all right, I guess not so funny, is the Borderlands 3 trailer came out, and then there was a reveal to it, and Randy Pitchford threw a fucking tantrum over covering what he said and quotes of what he said, and then what Borderlands 3 is actually going to entail. So, Borderlands 3 will have microtransactions. It's a 2K game. I think we all knew this was going to happen. To be fair, the game looks quite nice.
Cell shading.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's a looter shooter. Yeah. It's the original.
Yeah, sounds like, Randy Pitchford said in the conference there would be no microtransactions, but what he meant was no loot boxes or season pass stuff, but
so
they'll still be selling little cosmetic stuff for like less than $1 each or what have you, which is still technically microtransactions, and which is what Game
Absolutely.
Informer called him out on. But apparently so many AAA developers don't consider those microtransactions anymore, even though they freaking
this is
are.
so this is the industry trying to redefine a term,
Yep.
even though that we know what they are.
I mean, that kind of sucks because Borderlands had so many cosmetic options as it was.
That's what made it fun. Was all the cosmetics, the gun options, all that stuff.
Well, the other end of it is it's first person. You're not really going to see yourself that much.
But the way the game was designed, you could see the cosmetics on your gun because it was first person right in front of you.
Yeah, true. There's so many guns in it anyway. I don't know. I'm happy.
But the fact that the whole game was based on that fact of getting all those things, and now it's just going to be in the MTs. Like, no, it was a straight lie, and they're trying to redefine a term for their own benefit, which is a tactic that the entire industry is now using.
Yeah.
Loot boxes are loot boxes. Microtransactions are what's going to be in this game. There's no you can't say there isn't going to be, and then there is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't pre-order games, and I pre-ordered this, and I hope it doesn't burn me because I love Borderlands. Just don't make it be like, man, if only you could use more than 2 guns, pay us. Because then I'll be like, yo, fuck you, fuck your franchise, fuck everything you stand for.
Well, I mean, history would say that it's going to have a certain amount of guns, right? And it's going to have a limited amount of skins for those guns, instead of what you would do in the past games is fucking find them all, and you're just like, ooh, new thing, ooh, new thing, ooh, new thing. Yeah. Now, this is my prediction. You're going to go, ooh, new thing, and then for a long time, you're not going to see a new thing that's going to catch your eye. And that's what's going to get you to the microtransactions.
I'm not weak and pathetic enough to, like, pay for microtransaction, really. I barely buy DLC in games. I think the last one I bought was for, like, WWE. That was
But
it.
isn't this kind of a big appeal of the Borderlands franchise? Is the loot?
I mean, if the game has enough loot in it as it is, then I'm fine. Like, I won't cry if my gun isn't pink and bedazzled, I guess. I'll be okay. Like, as long as the gun still works and I can root and toot and shooting, I will be okay. I don't know, that's just me. I know other people will be upset, but I'm like, oh no, your gun doesn't have a giant dildo on it. Okay. Well, as long as the game's good, man, I don't care. All that extra stuff is extra, and hopefully it stays extra and not, as long as I don't feel like I'm missing something, I guess.
But here's the problem. All that stuff was in the previous games. Now you're taking it out for microtransaction purposes.
Yeah.
You're losing content because of this.
I'm not saying it's right. It just, I guess I have to see how big you've taken it out. Like, if it's like some crazy, like, say we get like, oh, my skin's pink and bedazzled, but if you paid us $1, you can get the Captain America skin. I'd be like, all right, well, sure, I guess, but no.
If it's like that, we were worried. I was worried, in particular, about the Devil May Cry 5 when it was announced microtransactions were going to be in that game, and the way Capcom, look at me talking, I'm so mixed emotions with Capcom. They come out with some shitty stuff like Street Fighter 5, and then they come out with Devil May Cry 5, and then they go, we both have 5 in it. Look at that.
Hey.
And it's not in your face. It has no impact on the game whatsoever. It's purely optional.
Right. And
nothing was taken out of the game. I feel that the whole appeal with the Borderlands franchise is the free loot, constant. You just get it constantly, and I think when a game's big appeal, what makes it unique is, I hope not. I'll use the term nerfed, but I am worried about it when I hear things where the whole game's appeal is now going to be in MTs.
As long as it's not critical. I guess. Like, I don't think we're going to be seeing, like, all you get is a standard 9mm pistol and a standard assault rifle, and all the cool stuff's behind dollars. I think you're going to have if they're smart, you're going to have a normal assessment of guns, and then, like, yeah, okay, there's some stuff behind it. Is it right? No. Will I live? Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where when I see, I mean, so many games come out all the time, and I play so many of them. I mean, hell, we even do this podcast for the retro games. And when we get to the retro games, it really puts more perspective, at least to me, on kind of just what the industry is doing today. And I think they're diluting the games. They're diluting their product. They're diluting me as a customer, my experience with making this game fun.
Just get the inevitable Game of the Year edition, man. Everything will be fixed. You know?
But that's the problem, isn't it?
No, it's
you're supposed to get these games when they come out, not I'll get this 2 years from now when it's like $10.
Nobody's making you buy a game the first day it comes out. That's on you.
That's the point of the sell, though.
Nah, I'm a consumer. It's my money. I'll pay it when I want to play it. I do it all the time.
Look, Kevin.
Yeah, but the
when you go see a movie,
doesn't wait for you.
Fuck the conversation. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to be the that's just me. I don't need to be the newest and great. I'm not saying it's right for everybody. I'm just like, man, I didn't play Batman Arkham Knight yet when everyone was playing it. All right. Then I wait to see, like, is when the dust settles, there's all that... all right, Breath of the Wild, the thing I always go back to. Man, when that game came out, everyone was fucking jizzing their pants. Woo! Breath of the Wild changes open world games. It's redefined the genre. 3 weeks later, you know, that world really didn't have fucking anything in it. Yeah,
it was still a really good game, so fuck off.
I'm not. I never said it was bad. What I'm saying is, people get a little more honest after that initial fucking honeymoon wears off. They're like, oh, that weapon durability sucked, but the game is pretty okay. And then you really get the real opinions. And by that time, hey, look, Breath of the Wild. No, that one will happen. Game of the Year edition's out with all the cool shit you wanted. All right, cool. All right, I'll play.
Look, it's just like any other medium. If a movie comes out, the whole premise is to try to get everyone to see it immediately, right? If the industry, if consumers started looking at movies like they do, like so many are with video games, where I'm looking at, say, Days Gone, I go, this game's okay. It's not painful, right?
Right.
But I'm probably gonna get this when it's on sale, $10, $20 a year from now, 2 years from now, when a lot of things are fixed. If I look at a movie and I go, you know what? This is looking at it from the game perspective to a movie perspective. And let's talk, since we were talking Endgame or even Detective Pikachu, right? Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not going to see this movie when it's in theaters. I'm going to wait until it's on DVD or on Netflix. You know how much money they would be losing for that? That's not the proper business practice.
No,
when you have your consumers start going, no, I'm not going to pay money for the thing that's going to make them a profit. Yeah, that's the problem.
But I don't feel obligated to say, well, I'm going to see it because it's new. No, you fucked up. You don't deserve my money at full price. That's what I'm saying. That's your problem. I'll play it when I feel like it's worth it now.
Well, that's the issue that we're coming across with so many games these days. And Borderlands 3, when I look at it, I go, you know what? I'm too worried. There's microtransactions. You're taking out a major part of the game that makes it cool. Now I don't want to play it right away. Now I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, so you wait. And that's totally fine on you. That's what I'm saying. You do that. They fucked up in your eyes, and
it's bad business practice, and that's what's happening with the industry.
So you don't give them money, and that's totally okay. That is your choice. I'm with you. I'm just coming at it a different way. Is what I'm saying. All right. You fucked up.
Colin, you've been quiet.
We kind of strayed pretty far from the original Randy Pitchford thing.
Fuck Randy Pitchford.
We went from his tantrum to our own tantrum. All right. Well, I did play a little bit of Days Gone, and it's getting hurt in the reviews a lot. That game was such a shame.
I didn't really give a crap about it to begin with, so it's no skin off my back.
No microtransaction skin off your back.
Oh ho 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 ho. Oh. You sir have tickled my fancy with your jests. I said it.
So, let's move on to our main theme, shall we, guys?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let me.
Who are you people?
I'll play Sonic. It's strange how video games make you think you're right back in middle school again. No, it's good. Yeah, there was a lot of really good attention to detail for, especially considering it was on the N64, which was known for not having a lot of that because everything was freaking rectangles and squares everywhere.
Triangles.
Giant polygons.
Yeah.
No, yeah, triangles fucking. The N64, the best system for triangles fucking.
Oh boy.
The only thing it was lacking was definitely the photosynthesis in our world.
Ah.
Yeah.
It definitely.
You know what had photosynthesis, Kevin? The 3DO.
No, it didn't. Because then it would be good.
It did.
No, it didn't.
Fucking D-pad.
You're a D-pad.
Oh, nice one. All right.
All right.
I have no comeback for that.
Yeah. So suck it.
Perhaps we here at the Red Leaf Retrocast will never grow up after all, and that's okay. Please consider leaving us an iTunes or Stitcher review to help us out. This is the Red Leaf Retrocast, found on all your favorite podcasting outlets. And now, on to the show again. Yay.
All right.
I gotta pee.
Okay. Well, hold it in.
No.
Should have gone before the cast started. Should have gone before we started ranting about.
It made me have to pee.
Alright, so this theme was simply sequels. The game is the second game in the series of multiple games. We were kind of also trying to go for a franchise, so to say. I like Kevin's last pick. It was very surprising to me. But anyways, I'll go first. I picked Wonder Boy in Monsterland, which is a Sega Master System game, and it's the sequel. It's the sequel to the Wonder Boy game, the very first one. It's so. What is everyone's experience with the Wonder Boy franchise?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
I'm sorry, that I don't feel like that series is popular outside of the YouTubers who say it's great. Not that it's bad. It's just I literally know nobody that's ever played a Wonder Boy game.
Well, Wonder Boy Dragon's Trap had a remaster, and it came out on the Switch.
Right.
And it was really good. It fixed a lot of things that were kind of holding it back at the time. Wonder Boy is definitely a Sega franchise that is, to me, long forgotten. Kind of like Alex Kidd, right? Uh-huh. Used to be such a staple of Sega. So it was developed by Sega, published by Sega. Besides the Master System, it's come out on a slew of other systems. It was originally an arcade game, and you could definitely feel that. It was released August in 1987, so it is not a spry chicken, you might say.
Spry chicken, he says.
Yeah, I'm using some old terms for the old game. Yeah. So, predecessor to Wonder Boy, the game's protagonist is a young boy named Brock Lee Temjin, but they just call him Tom Tom for short.
How is that short for broccoli tension?
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm wondering.
It was pretty funny. Yeah, I saw it in the little manual that came with the game. So, it's your typical kind of damsel in distress. Evil king kidnaps a woman, and you go through the land with a little tiny pissant sword, and you fight snakes and things that are coming out from the ground, all the way until you get to a dragon, which is very synonymous with the Wonder Boy franchise, and the enemy is called Mecha Dragon, so, Mecha Godzilla of the times and all that stuff. So.
Yes.
It's a side-scrolling platformer action game. It kind of has a fantasy feel to it with the land and how everything's laid out. So what did everyone think of the game?
That was an okay platformer.
Yeah, it feels very, very much like Alex Kidd.
Yeah.
That's a very good comparison to make. The way the controls are laid out, the way it feels, the jumping. I think it was a lot more floaty than Alex Kidd.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I just felt like the gameplay was a little better in here than in Alex Kidd. At least I didn't have as much trouble with it.
Okay, I actually had more trouble with it, so now I'm curious. Why don't you tell me more about that?
I don't know, I guess it had more to do with hit detection and what weapon you used, because in Alex Kidd you were just punching, but in this game you're swinging a sword. I guess that felt more satisfying to me.
Okay.
I do prefer swords in platformers over jumping on things, because that doesn't make much sense.
I really liked the currency system in this game. When you destroy an enemy, it becomes a coin, and then you can use currency where you, as you traverse a level, you can find a shop. In this case, shop owners, you can get like life potions and revival potions, which is, honestly, you can't progress through the harder levels without these things. It's
pretty much.
You have to have them because it's an arcade game. The whole premise was to take your money, right, and kind of kick your ass.
This was an arcade game?
It was originally an arcade game, yeah.
Oh, this is not something I'd see as an arcade game. I don't know, maybe because I see the aesthetic and I think RPGs. But yeah, okay, weird.
Yeah, the original first two Wonder Boy games, it all changed with Dragon Trap, because that plays more like an RPG, right? An action RPG.
Zelda.
Well, no.
It's Zelda.
I found this game's aesthetic to be closer to like a DOS platformer.
Or Adventure Island.
Yeah, of the Sega era, yeah. The Master System has that unique kind of look to it. Everything's
bright.
kind of flat colored.
Yeah. But you know what the thing is? I know that this and Adventure Island are like, they have a weird history together, but this seems very Adventure Island-y when it comes to the island levels.
How so?
All the island levels, there's water, there's a nice island aesthetic. Like, it almost seems like this is the point where like either the teams met or they somewhere in development they were like, let's just make it a game with a sword. Somebody sniffed coke.
I could see that. I absolutely see that.
Like,
of the time, I was looking up like old reviews of the game. Of the time, it praised it for its smooth controls and gameplay, and its colorful graphics.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right, I guess.
I don't know about the smooth controls. I really thought they were overly floaty. Because our Wonder Boy here, Tom, he had, when you're running, he does this ice skid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like he's always on ice.
Sounds like Psycho Fox.
Well,
yeah.
Psycho Fox was momentum based. Like the whole game was based on building up momentum. In this one, you get momentum quick, like at the drop of a hat. Kind of like the very first Mario, where he has that short little skid to it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But Wonder Boy makes that twice as long, and so you can. I did end up developing a technique where I could slide, and if I timed it right, I could swing my sword, and then the slide would take the sword into multiple enemies. That was a cool little technique you end up developing over time the more you play with the game. That really made things flow much better once I got the hang of that. But it took a while to get a handle on that kind of float slide control.
Interesting.
It was an okay platformer. I'm not going to go back and play it anytime soon, but I'm also not a giant.
I think this is the
System guy.
strongest Wonder Boy game from what I had.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised because I love the Wonder Boy series that we haven't discussed a Wonder Boy game on this podcast before.
The Genesis one was better from what I remember when I played that.
No,
I
no,
like
it was
that
not.
one. I like that one. Am I thinking?
Wow.
Maybe I'm not
We'd
thinking the
have
right
to-
one. It was 4, right?
I believe that was 4 was technically the female. I think it was Wonder. What was it called? I have it too. I do like that game. That game doesn't have the floaty controls.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
That might be the one.
I gotta learn.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I think the aspect I hated about this game the most was the hourglass.
The time limit on stages?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can collect hourglasses by visiting hospitals or taverns in the game, and you can certain enemies every once in a while will pop up an hourglass rather than a coin. However, if you run out of sand in the hourglass, it'll flip, restart, and you lose health. And being that the game is already kind of pretty difficult, I think that I had the hourglass kill me more than anything else once I got a handle on that slide technique.
Right.
So I was just infuriated with that thing.
That's the thing.
They did take that out. They did take that out in games later.
See, that's the thing I hate about like anything pre PS1 era is that like you really have to cheat to beat some games and like turn off a time limit, and it kind of sucks because the game's built around that. So like you almost lose something, but you need it. So like anytime I play, like if I see a time limit in games, I find a cheat to turn it off immediately, and if I can't, I'm just like, well, this game sucks already.
I really wonder if there is a cheat to turn that off, but I doubt it.
Well, it's probably like a Game Shark, or you can find it in an emulator kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Make games playable.
So, Wonder Boy and Monsterland. I love the Wonder Boy series. This isn't my favorite Wonder Boy game by any means, so I think it's actually the weakest of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Because as a sequel, I don't think it improved enough from the first one, while the predecessors after this really improved it. So I'm actually going to fail this. You can find the game for about $20.
Yeah,
That's
I have to give it a
expensive for
soft fail too. I didn't really spend much time on it. Didn't really grab me.
Yeah. All right. So,
Okay.
did you fail it too, Kevin?
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to lose sleep if I never see it again.
So my next game, unfortunate, but anyways.
Fuck them. Make a better game.
Well, they did. It came later.
Oh. Good job.
So my second pick for sequels is a maybe you've heard of it. It's called Donkey Kong Jr.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? No.
Nope.
What
Not
is
once.
that?
What is this? Originally came out on ColecoVision, later ported to a slew of things, NES and the like. Developed by, well, depending on what version, but we'll say developed and published by Coleco. Published and developed by Nintendo and Atari later when they were ported. Came out in 1982, originally as an arcade game. So I kind of had an arcade feature for this one. Mm-hmm. Kind of an arcade port sequel.
A fetish, if you will.
Yeah, what? That escalated.
I'm the weird one. Okay.
All right. It is the sequel to Donkey Kong, the original. And this so the original features Mario as the hero, as Donkey Kong himself had captured the princess, or the girl. In this one, Mario's the villain, as he has captured Donkey Kong. So Donkey Kong's son, DK Jr., is out to save him. And there's a so unlike the first Donkey Kong, where you're Jumpman or Mario, and you're going up pretty much platforms and you're dodging barrels and whatnot. In this one, because you're a monkey, you go across vines and climb things. So it's a different control aesthetic to it. What did everyone think of the 4 stages? How it controlled? What do you think?
Who's first?
I thought it was a fun game. It was interesting to see all the different mechanics that made their way into Donkey Kong Country, with like climbing between vines, and the clap traps, which is those small lizard things that walk around, opening and closing their mouths with the big honking fangs, and they go up and down the vines, so you got to avoid them. And just a quick aside, evidently Diddy's Kong Quest was not the first Donkey Kong game to have Donkey Kong as the damsel in distress. Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah, it was Donkey Kong Jr. of all things.
Actually, if you go by the Donkey Kong lineage, that Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong that we know today is completely different. So, fuck off.
Same series. Screw you.
I hate everyone that looks way too much into Nintendo lore. Sorry. Like, who cares? Yeah.
Sounds like the Sonic fandom.
Oh my fuck! Don't even get me started. It's gonna be a bunch of furries that opening day.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yep.
We're the Donkey Kong Jr. furries. That's what I want to know.
Let's not get into that whole Reddit. r/Donkey Kong furries. I see you out there. I'm starting it right now. It's our official subreddit.
Yeah.
All right.
I think, yeah, I like this game. I mean, the gameplay is solid. It plays pretty much the same as Donkey Kong, but with some added features, like the vine climbing and such. Movement. And I like that you can grab 2 vines at once in order to climb faster. Plus,
yes, that is a really cool little mechanic that they have in this game.
And level 3 is where things really ramp up in difficulty, although the electronic aesthetic is really cool on that one. It's like a circuit board type thing where you've got all these electric lights going around in a circuit, and you got to jump over them.
Yeah, the 4th stage I didn't like too much.
What was that one again? I can't quite remember. Is it where you're climbing the vines and pushing the keys into the keyholes?
Yeah. I thought it was too simplistic for kind of a quote-unquote final stage.
Yeah,
you know? Right. Because the circuit one was simple as well, but the whole, circuit board thing was pretty cool, and as you go up the board, the electro dudes go faster and faster, so you have to really time it right. So there's a good element to that, difficult element. The 4th stage where you're just pushing the keys, I didn't really feel compelled to keep playing the game. I think that's where.
Don't you mean
you get to
impelled?
go through, try to get hard. What's that?
Don't you mean impelled?
Yeah, right. Impelled.
Reference to the last cast.
So yeah, I thought the 4th stage was very, very not satisfying, and compelling or impelling. Haha.
Going in circles like an impeller.
Yeah, but those first two stages are fucking fun as hell. I really like them. Climbing up the vines. I do like the fact that Donkey Kong Jr. can, if you fall too far, just like two board levels, that he'll die. He'll die from fall damage, essentially. So
that was the biggest thing I hate about this game. I was waiting for somebody to say it. I fucking hate that.
I thought it brought a big element to kind of, you gotta time this right or else.
No, because it's a platformer. Why do platformers have fall damage?
But he's just a monkey junior.
I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, it's so dumb. I would make, especially in the first level even, I'd make a jump off a chain and then onto the platform, and then just, like, you see right where Donkey Kong goes from an arc, and the second he's at the edge of it, he just drops straight down, and he dies. I'm like, alright, well, fuck me then. Like,
well, a lot of games did that back then.
No, what other game did that back then?
I think Popeye did it.
You have to think.
I think Popeye did it. I think Burger Time did it on late, or was that Diner?
Burger Time? You couldn't jump in Burger Time.
It must have been Diner. If you fall from.
Oh, nobody played Diner except us.
Except us. Yeah. So what else did everyone think? What about the enemies themselves? I really liked them.
I don't know. They're not really memorable to me. But they're... You
didn't like the bird assholes that pooped eggs and killed you?
That part was annoying, but, like, I don't miss them not being in other, like, Donkey Kong games, I guess. Or Mario.
They are in. I think they are in later. Like a
are
lot of
they?
the enemies in this Donkey Kong game came out later with the Country series.
Maybe they've redesigned them so much I can't tell, but
They would still poop eggs.
yeah.
I actually didn't have too much trouble with the birds. I mean, they had a pretty predictable pattern, so I didn't.
No, once you saw it coming, just hide.
Yeah, pretty much. You can move along the vines in the line of flight that they're not in.
Yeah.
Was anyone else caught off guard by Mario being the villain?
No, I knew that was gonna. I actually knew that from when I had this on the e-reader back in the day.
Ooh, the e-reader.
Yeah, that's how I played this, and don't worry, I hate myself too.
So, funny enough, Donkey Kong Jr. of all things, when it was ported to the NES, was when the NES came out, it was a launch title.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, black box game. Yep.
Yeah, pretty. When I read that, I'm like, wow, really?
Interesting.
So, I think as a Coleco game, this is really good. But imagine getting your NES and paying $60 for Donkey Kong Jr. while things like Zelda and just longer games would come out. You know, games you could pump more time into.
Different times.
It was that big transition period where games, the replay value would be getting the high score, to tell a story kind of deal. It is pretty. I don't know. Get a little retrospective there.
Yeah. It's
Makes sense.
weird to think, like, I can't imagine paying for most games that came pre PS1 like full price, because most of them were meant to like fuck you over,
Yeah.
make kids go outside. You lost in this game, go play outside, kid, do something else.
You only get 3 lives. Fuck.
Fuck you, start over, bitch. Which is why I don't really play games from that era anymore, really, that often. Like, I don't know, I don't feel like dying and being like, well, fuck all your progress. Nerd.
Hence save states.
Save states are good.
So, I passed Donkey Kong Jr. I do like this. I think if you don't have a Coleco or Atari or anything like that, and you really want to continue the Donkey Kong franchise, the NES version is very affordable. None of these games should go more than $10, depending on what platform you collect for.
I was gonna say NES version's probably like 20 now, standard.
Donkey Kong, Donkey Nog.
Donkey Nog, yes, that's the spiritual spinoff.
Donkey Nog. Yeah, you're right. The NES version's $18.
I know my retro prices, motherfucker.
And
Or you
it's
can get the
Triple X
Famicom
cousin,
version for
Donkey
$8.
Knob.
Donkey Knob, yes.
Yeah, you can get the Famicom version for $8.
No, it's not the same.
No, not the same.
No, I demand my retro not be half-assed, okay?
All right.
Yeah, I give it a soft pass. I just wish there were more levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm surprised they never did the whole Game Boy treatment. This one, where they made Donkey Kong like some crazy long game on the Game Boy. I'm surprised this didn't get that, because I can see that potential.
Oh, well, that Game Boy Donkey Kong game is so fucking good.
It's really fucking good.
Oh, I think that's once they were done with the arcade Donkey Kong series, and they went that direction. It was like I have a feeling that's what they wanted to do all along.
Huh.
It was just tons of levels. I
think
simplistic designs.
The only other game I can think that did that, I mean, you got the Minis games, which are like whatever, but then Burger Time Deluxe, I think, did the same thing.
Burger Time Deluxe, is that a Game Boy game?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it does the same thing Donkey Kong did. Like,
Typing that
here's some crazy levels.
Time Deluxe.
So.
Wasn't the Game Boy Donkey Kong #1 on Polygon's best 20 or top 20 Game Boy games?
Fuck Polygon.
I don't remember that being on the list, actually.
Really? No, I remember that.
Yeah,
we were
that's
discussing
a glaring omission.
Yeah, we were discussing.
It might have been. I could have forgotten. All right.
Anyway.
So we all kind of give it at least a loose pass, a soft pass.
Yeah.
All right. Colin, your first sequel.
Alrighty.
Which these next three are games we covered in the New Millennium Platformers episode.
Well, they're predecessors.
Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah. First one is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. On GameCube, Dreamcast, and whatever else I can't think of off the top of my head. It was developed by Sonic Team USA and published by Sega. Released on the Dreamcast in June 2001 and later on the GameCube. Its Japan release date on the GameCube was December 20th, 2001, and then North America, February 11th, 2002, and PAL regions, May 3rd, 2002. I had initially considered doing this one for the Character Origins cast since it's Shadow's first appearance and Rouge's in the Sonic series, but I went with my other picks regardless. I went with Sonic 2 instead.
Mm-hmm.
And the story for this one is a lot more complex and emotional than it has any right to be, because Shadow's origin story and whatnot. Basically,
gotta have it.
Story is Dr. Robotnik, or as he's constantly referred to as Eggman in here. He's
such a bad name.
He breaks into a military compound and in search of their ultimate weapon, which turns out to be Shadow in some kind of hyperstasis state. And then Shadow breaks out, starts causing some mayhem to try and get to the space colony Ark. Then, because the military are fucking morons, they mistake Sonic the Hedgehog for Shadow, even though they only vaguely look like each other.
Well, they didn't want to be racist, you know? Just get the black Sonic. Oh, you can't say that.
Sarge, I don't like the way you said black.
Oh, you really emphasize that B on black Sonic, man. Like, step back. What? He's a black Sonic? Whoa, man.
What about the blue Sonic? Whoa,
dude. Come on, man.
Now, Shadow wants to gather all the Chaos Emeralds to go to the space colony Ark. And then in the meantime, Knuckles and Rouge are gathering up the pieces of the Master Chaos Emerald, which got shattered when Dr. Robotnik tried to steal it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then that all culminates into a big climax where the colony is about to crash into Earth and cause the apocalypse.
Pretty ridiculous. Yeah, Eggman destroys the moon in retaliation for threatening Earth. I'm like, well, you pretty much killed a lot of people just doing that alone. So.
Yeah. The tides are going to be causing a lot of havoc.
It should be illegal for a Sonic game to have this much plot.
It's too much plot.
Yeah, really. Yeah. This game seems to have a bit of a cult following, at least among Sonic fans. I mean, it's definitely more well remembered than Sonic Adventure 1.
Is it?
I mean, of all the 3D Sonic games aside from Colors, this one seems to get more positive press than all the other 3D Sonics, at least from what I've seen. And I'd go as far to say this one is the closest to being great of all the 3D Sonic games. Aside from Colors, I have yet to play that one. I said the closest.
I don't know, man. Have you played the Black Knight? Like,
I have not.
Man, are you missing out?
I don't think he is.
I don't know. After the Sonic Adventure games, they probably should just stayed in 2D world. That was it. You really couldn't catch that magic again. I don't even know what was like that special about these. They're okay. I'm not gonna, they're not great.
I guess people just have fond memories of it being the first attempt at a 3D Sonic. It was a very novel thing at the time.
That's true.
This game got great reviews when it came out. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think it was getting
what about
like
now?
8, 9 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Times change.
Times do change. I think if there was a retro review like what we're doing here, it'd be a little more mixed. Be a mixed bag, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just average is all. Like, it's an okay 3D platformer.
That's how I kind of felt about it. I thought it was a vast improvement from Sonic Adventure 1. I played the Dreamcast version, just Sonic Adventure 2, not Battle. And I thought the controls were way better, the camera was way better, everything aesthetically looked way better. The butt rock in this game went way overboard, but hey, it's Sonic, right?
Yeah.
The what?
The butt rock.
The butt rock.
Yeah, do you not know what butt rock is, Kevin?
Go on.
I don't think I do either.
Big,
I'm not sure I want to know why it's
guys.
called butt rock.
You're a big ass guy. I'm just understanding that.
Okay.
So what is it?
Butt rock? It's just that electric guitar with the dude screaming.
That's way less worse than what I thought you were going to say. All right.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say some graphic thing on the hips of the characters.
No.
That it looked bad
The music
in this era.
in this game is qualified as butt rock.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Not what I would call it, but sure.
That's what people say. Anyways,
Sure.
I do enjoy the Sonic levels. Shadow is okay. I really don't like the whole gun thing, and
But he doesn't have a gun in this one.
well, just Shadow in general.
Shadow sucks. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't like him. I get what they were doing. Tails has the gun in this. I'm sorry. You're right, Colin. Jesus. What's wrong?
Tails and Robotnik.
Yeah, I don't like those sections at all.
I thought they
Now-
were okay. Not the best part of the game, but
I don't see the purpose to them. I don't know why they were there, other than to just give. I guess maybe it's to give fans the feeling of being Tails, but I don't know. Because my most hated parts in Sonic Adventure 1 was not being Sonic, right? and sure, there was improvements to it in this one, like I don't have to be Big the Cat and fucking Fish, right?
yeah, that's already a huge
The best
plus.
part of Sonic Adventure. Thank you.
But then my most hated part in this one was Knuckles. I thought that was even worse than the first one.
Yeah, those could be pretty frustrating.
Just going around a level doing fuck all until you find a gem. Like, why?
Yeah, really.
Racing Rouge. That's fun to play multiplayer though.
I've never played multiplayer. How was multiplayer in this game?
That was the only multiplayer thing I played. Was like, who finds the gems first? Like,
Yeah.
I remember playing that on Dreamcast back in the day, but I didn't do it recently.
Yeah,
I think I don't have friends.
yeah, even though I don't care about the Chow Garden sections, they really ramped them up in this game from the first.
They really
game.
tried.
Yeah. 'Cause you could actually put them into wrestling matches or
Fucking what?
yeah, you could put your
You didn't try that, Kevin?
No, I didn't because I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh yeah, you go to the Chow Garden. You can enter your chows in a battle to the death in like a karate mini game.
This is awesome. Why haven't I done this?
You can also get them to race as well against other ones.
Yeah.
Game got way better immediately.
And if you're playing the GameCube version, you can store your Chow data on your Game Boy Advance with a link cable if you have a copy of Sonic Advance.
Yeah, well, I prefer the virtual memory unit. Thank you.
My Game Boy had way more buttons and a bigger screen, so it's clearly superior. Thank you.
Do you think the game's terminology just went way overboard in this one?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So, Eggman infiltrates the gun facility. He,
like abbreviations?
yeah, he separates the ultimate life form. Go after Guns forces. Let's see, what was another? Just Ark in general. It's the space colony with all the shit. All those names were just way over the top. I felt.
Yeah, it fits with
Trying to make it more edgy because Shadow was there. I guess.
Yeah, I guess it
Gotta have edge, man.
The Eclipse Cannon.
Yeah, Sonic is over the top in general, so it kind of fits. Though, one thing I never got, why does the game fully embrace the Eggman moniker for Dr. Robotnik? Even he decides to go with it in the end.
Because
I
you stupid Americans.
I always thought it was just a petty insult in Sonic Adventure 1 for the protagonist to get under his skin, but now the game's trying to pass it off as having always been his alias.
Maybe this was the one where they just went full on with it.
Yeah, I mean, it might might just be a nitpick, but it still bugs me.
It was one of them was a Japanese name, and eventually, finally, we all decided, like, all right, this is their names, guys. Like Toadstool and Peach went through that. You know.
Oh, so that one I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah.
Then again, I wasn't really invested in the names of Mario characters.
Well, the lore is super important, so.
Plus, I always thought that maybe Peach was just her first name and Toadstool was her last name. So maybe that's why.
Toadstool is like mushroom poop.
Don't you mean toad poop?
Yeah.
I was wondering who was going to say that.
Toadstool.
I just mushroom poop, toad poop. Either way, fuck you, Peach.
So, did any of us play long enough to use all the characters and get to the final boss fight?
God, no.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
You did
played
Colin?
it. I played it way back when I was in college, and I was able to get to the end of both the Hero and Dark runs, but I never, for some reason, it didn't go into like the full combination climax story section. So I had to watch that on YouTube.
Oh. Is it worth it?
I think if you were playing it at the time and super invested in it, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
both Sonic and Shadow go into Super Hedgehog mode. That is Super
Whoa.
Saiyan Hedgehog. In order to stop
much edge.
the colony from hitting Earth.
It's too much edge in that sentence.
Do
Shadow.
they both turn gold, Super Saiyan?
Yes.
Okay, so blue and black Sonic
Whoa. Again,
turn
racist.
gold.
Although Shadow's gold color is more of a pale gold.
So
Yeah.
So are you telling me the, let's say, ethnic hedgehogs are forced to transform into blonde hair, blue-eyed hedgehogs?
Oh my god.
Are you pretty much so? Sonic is essentially Nazi propaganda. Got it.
Oh my gosh. Although they don't have blue eyes, they have red eyes.
For like the Nazi colors, yeah.
And Nazis blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah,
They're
but you know,
Aryan.
red flag. Look, work with me here, Colin.
No, I refuse. I will not entertain your
Sonic
line
is
of
Nazi
thought on this
propaganda
matter.
confirmed.
I will not entertain your Nazi propaganda with Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god.
This got political pretty quick.
I'm just saying, if this episode title isn't Sonic is Nazi propaganda for the clicks, you're doing something wrong.
Oh man, you're not wrong there.
Do it, JD. Don't be a coward.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, I thought the game controlled way better. The non-Sonic parts, I'm still not a fan of. So, based on just like how I failed Sonic Adventure 1, I am failing Sonic Adventure 2, but it did improve a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, if this game had one campaign as opposed to 3, it would have been better. Because it would have ended sooner. So,
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I give this one a pass.
I don't believe you.
Now, you
I
better
surely
believe
don't
it,
believe
or
you.
there's going to be trouble.
Make it double?
So the game's pretty affordable. You can get the GameCube game for about $14. Anywhere from 10 to 15 for the Dreamcast version.
I think the HD editions are like 5-ish on PSN normally, if anyone cares.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But don't spend your money on it.
I already had my copy from college, so I didn't have to.
Look at you.
Look at me being smart.
I once was a smirt.
And look at you
Next
now.
game.
Ah! Anyway.
Aw.
Anyway.
Move along.
Don't tell me to live. I'm so tired.
Anyway. Next up is Jack 2 on the PS2. The sequel to Jack and Daxter. Developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Released on PlayStation 2 on October 14th, 2003. Now, this game has a markedly darker setting and story than the previous game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, at the end of the previous game, if you collected all the power cells, there was an ending cutscene where they opened up this giant glowing white warp gate. And then the game picks up from that cutscene directly. Turns out it's a time travel portal. And then
Of course it is.
And then the whole group from the previous game, that is Jack, Daxter, Kira, and Samos, they activate a few things on a certain precursor technological thingamabob, and then they all get thrown forward through time into a somewhat post-apocalyptic future, into a place called Haven City. And then and while they're traveling through the warp gate, they all get separated, and then Jack and Daxter arrive in the same spot. Jack gets captured for reasons and then experimented on with Dark Eco, which in the game enables him to transform into like the Hulk, basically.
Sure.
And then Daxter breaks him out.
As you do.
Yeah. Then Daxter breaks him out, and then they run into some underground resistance that's fighting against Baron Praxis, who's basically the big dictator of Haven City.
Sure. More Nazi propaganda. We're on a roll, Colin.
More like
you got something you want to tell us?
Hey, Kevin brought it up, not me.
I'm just pointing out what was thrown at me right in my face.
But you're fighting against the Nazis in this one, so it's more like Wolfenstein.
Oh, right, yes. Totally different now.
Yep. Now, you guys have made it... Well, I personally feel this is a worthy continuation to the series.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Fight me.
Okay, we're just about to do that. So what do you think? What do you think about this?
It's got all the gameplay I liked from the first game and more. It has a more straightforward, well-defined story, even if the tone is a big shift from the first game.
And gameplay.
Yeah, you have the original gameplay plus guns and vehicles. And I don't know how you guys feel about Jack now having a voice, but I don't mind it. I mean, he's a likable character no matter which game you play, although he's got a darker edge this time around. And why wouldn't he, after 2 years of having Dark Eco pumped into him? But
I think with the story and what they were going for, it was fine. Like giving Jack a voice and, kind of gave him an edge, kind of gave him more personality. So I get what they were going for. I didn't have an issue with that part.
Yeah. It does become a bit like Grand Theft Auto in that you can steal others' hovercrafts in the city.
Uh-huh.
There's a bit of a sandbox approach, although it's not really that much different from the first game, because that had kind of an open world approach too. But the vehicle controls can be pretty slippery. I had a bit of an issue with that. And at the beginning, all the back and forth really gets to be a pain after a while, because you just go to one end of the city to do a mission and then back to the place where you got the mission. It's a bit of a hassle, but Daxter's funny dialogue is still around. He's still
at least they kept that.
Yeah, still as funny as ever. And
is there a cat?
Yeah, my cat's next to me. He's very happy.
Oh.
And
he's very much purring.
Yeah, another issue I had, the missions, the checkpoints are way too spread out. I really didn't like them. There's one escort mission early on where you have to back up a guy killing 5 super strong metalheads, and metalheads are like the opposing force outside the city, trying to invade the city. Just think Attack on Titan. And then there was one point close to the... Because every time the guy dies, you have to start the mission all over again.
That sucks.
There was one point close to the end of the mission where he died for a really stupid reason. And I had to start all the way over again, and the mission's like 10 minutes long, so that's like 8 minutes gone right there, and I just raged.
I feel like the game did that a lot. I'm glad you brought up the checkpoint system being so spread out.
Yeah.
Because it also makes you traverse the city so much in the game. I'm really glad you brought up it's like Grand Theft Auto, because this was a time when Grand Theft Auto 3 had come out, right?
Uh-huh.
And every game after that wanted to copy that formula where you're in this open world, you're traversing a vehicle, and that's where you go mission to mission that way.
Uh-huh.
What drove me insane about Jak 2 was that formula does not work in this game.
Nope.
At all. Not for a game that started out as a lovable platformer, mascot type character.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough.
Now, when you get to the missions, what took so much away from what I enjoyed about the first game is the whole giving the characters guns.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah. So, I think with how I was feeling, I thought it took away a lot of its fun and intuitive gameplay. It was just too all over the place, firing a gun. I felt like I could just spin in circles and shoot, and I would have been just as effective, if not more.
Ah, yeah.
Now the Dark Eco part is really cool, because when you go into his black form,
Whoa!
I'll continue that one,
dude.
Oh, boy.
He can't use the guns anymore, so it's all melee attack pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes really strong. That is super cool. So this game does have some really nice improving features to it. I don't disagree with that.
Ah, yeah.
But the whole hub world idea of trying to beat Grand Theft Auto and the gunplay took so much out of it. I just could not get into this game. Not at all. The plot and everything does make sense with the world and how it all went down. I got no issue with that. There are certain levels that I do enjoy, especially when it's platform. It's primarily platform based. But so many missions are just protection, shoot this, shoot that, shoot all the things that aren't you formula. And thank God Daxter still has his same sense of humor from the previous game.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't there, I would easily fail the game. Now I'm just barely failing the game. Because you and I, Colin, played the third one, and that fixed all of my issues with the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that one has the more open world aspect to it, but there's a good mixture between the gunplay that they put in that one and the platforming. That is what this one should have been. So maybe they weren't capable at the time, but copying so much of that Grand Theft Auto formula, I think, was very detrimental to this game.
Well, I personally didn't have a problem with the added gunplay. I mean, you say it takes away from it. I thought it added to it. Maybe that just speaks to the way I play games, but I didn't have as big a problem with it as you did. But Kevin, what about you?
I'm kind of in between both of you guys, where I feel like the first Jak and Daxter was, to me, a pretty good platformer, but I feel like it needed something else. I wouldn't have minded third-person gunplay if it was done well, but this was clearly... maybe they were going in the right direction, and then the last minute they're like, yo, GTA's real cool. Oh, let's put that shit in there. And it kind of seemed like it didn't need to be done. So I don't know anything about Jak 3, and it could be, for all I know, it could fix all my problems, but it was a game that knew what it needed to do, but it didn't do it right. So it's okay. Everything's okay today. I just realized that, but I don't know. I'm not dying to play it. I'm gonna finish it probably. I didn't get very far, I was like, yeah, okay, this is just not what I want right now. So
yeah, that's how I felt playing. I go, man, I kind of don't want to play this anymore after a little while. It's not. I felt like I never got into the game either.
But
I think that has a lot to do with that hub world.
Yeah, I never actively hated it. I was just like, okay, well, yeah, maybe another time, but this isn't great.
It's almost like Days Gone. You know, it's like there's nothing inherently wrong, like totally wrong or broken about the game.
It's just not there.
Yeah, nothing's clicking.
Yeah, it's so. I don't know. Maybe Jak 3's better, but I also hate that the game starts off a secret ending from the first one. Like, how am I supposed to know what any of this means? Like, fucking, you couldn't have done anything better. Like,
well, at least it recaps it for you. It doesn't assume that you've seen it.
No, but if I beat Jak 1, yeah, but if I beat Jak 1 the way I did, like a normal person, and then all of a sudden it was just like, so remember that all that time travel stuff we went over at the end of the first game? Yeah, good. Okay, so you got it. You did it. You 100% our game because it was fucking great, right? Yeah, I know you did.
Well, at least it didn't pull the Metroid Prime 2, where unless you got that secret ending or the extra ending or whatever, the true ending, there was no recap in Metroid Prime 2, if memory serves. It just assumes you know that.
Yeah, that's
I don't like it when things do that. I did like Jak 2 recapping in case you didn't do that in the first one.
Yeah, but I don't like it where a game's secret ending requires you to have precisely 100% of everything, which was my issue with Metroid Prime 1. You had to have all of the lore, all of the artifacts, all of the weapon upgrades in order to get the super secret ending that would lead into Metroid Prime 2. I mean, Kingdom Hearts did it right. If you played like maybe a higher difficulty but only got a certain number of secret items, then you could still get the secret ending. But in this case, in the case of Jak and Daxter, it might have been a little too much in that regard.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly.
Yeah. But
so Jak 2 is, because it's a platformer from the early 2000s, of course it's very affordable. It barely goes for $5. You can get the greatest hits version for like $2.
HT collections abound. PS3 and 4 have them now, I believe. So, you're fine. Play Jak 2, you hear some developer cry.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm barely failing Jak 2.
Yeah.
You guys may fail it, but I easily pass it. Suck my dick.
Easily pass.
Well, I mean, no.
I just enjoyed it way more than you guys.
That's fine, and that's what makes the world go round, man. You're just wrong.
No, Colin, you're off the cast. You liked Jak 2, and we didn't. Get out of here.
I can still haunt you on the websites, giving negative comments.
Yeah, you could.
This guy hates Jak 2. What a dick.
What an asshole.
A heathen.
Oh, I wonder who wrote this review.
All right. Kevin, you have 2 games that you picked for the sequels theme.
Yeah, with my no time, I picked one game I already played, luckily.
It's fine.
I broke kayfabe. Kill me.
All right.
It was Ratchet. So the first game was Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I don't have the stats in front of me because know that it's the sequel to Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, developed by Insomniac, published by Sony. Came out November 2003.
Right. All that
platformer.
Yeah, all that happened. So here's the thing: how I feel about Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I played it, I streamed it, and I had this whole feeling the whole time that this is the most sequel-ass sequel to a great game I've ever played. Like, it kind of just felt like the first game was good, so we need to make a second. But I really felt like no charm or spirit was in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando.
Oh.
I kind of feel like it was just going through the motions of like, yep, Ratchet and Clank, you remember platforming, right? Like, the game was almost exactly the same. With new levels.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
no, that's the thing. It's
much
not
like
bad.
with Mario and Zelda games, it's a new way to enjoy the same thing.
Right.
Sure.
Not bad, but with all that like plot development of like, who is Clank? Why are they friends now? Like, out of nowhere, like, all that's been established, but I just feel like they didn't do anything else. And it was just like, okay, well, we got to do this now, Clank, so let's go to the planets and platform, I guess. not bad. Again, none of this is bad per se, but I was just like, okay, this is a sequel-ass sequel. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like any new lore was developed in the Ratchet and Clank world. I don't really feel like I was missing anything playing it story-wise. It was good. It was a fun game. Had some parts I didn't like the a lot of the glider sections. I thought those controlled like ass. Luckily, there weren't that many of them. But they tried.
They could get a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't like the spaceship battle part. I thought that was kind of like a time waster. I don't know why we're doing this.
Yeah. It seems to be in every game since the second one. Those space battle parts. I think it's to break up the monotony of constantly doing the same thing throughout the rest of the game. So I see the purpose to it, and luckily they are pretty short.
Yeah, unless you fail them like I did, because I was like, "Where's this last guy? Oh, I'm dead. Okay, cool." So I mean, I get it, but those parts do make me appreciate the really solid platforming more. That being said, I
didn't really like the spaceship parts either. They just didn't control very well.
That being said, it kind of has Metroid syndrome of like, hey, all those cool weapons you had, suck it, they're gone. So that part kind of blew. I also it kind of came down to I only used a few weapons, and they kind of got me through everything, which is disappointing. And then there were a lot of weapons. I especially feel like the what was the one you make like a decoy ratchet? I feel like that kind of really didn't help at all.
Oh, I love decoy ratchet.
I was like, okay, this isn't working. Like I feel like enemies just weren't as attracted to it like I wanted to be.
So the trick with the decoy ratchet, you have to place it close to an enemy cluster, and then what you do is you step back a couple feet from it and to the left or right, whatever side of the screen you put it on, and then all the enemies will concentrate on fake ratchet.
Okay, all right. So maybe that's why I didn't get it.
And then you hit him with the grenade launcher.
Boom. Which is satisfying.
Launcher, lava gun, anything. They all become a cluster to it. I love decoy ratchet.
So it was satisfying as always to play this game like when you see enemies like really bundling up in one spot and like getting them all those bolts fly out of nowhere. You're like, yeah, this is cool. But again, same time I was like, I've done this. It's all right. The final boss also kind of underwhelming. I felt like
Captain Quark.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't know. It was really easy, I feel like.
Well, compared to the first game's
final
boss.
First game's final boss kept glitching out on me, and I had another moment like it in Banjo-Kazooie, so I said, if it glitches this time, I beat it. Like, I'm not doing this when you decide the game wants to work. Fuck you. If it glitches, I beat it. So, yeah, it's a great platformer, but like, don't expect to learn anything new about Ratchet or Clank as characters, I guess.
So, from a story perspective, I get where you're going with that.
Yeah.
From a gameplay perspective, I think this game improved leaps and bounds over the first one.
Okay.
And that's what makes it so good. Like, what Ratchet and Clank 2 did made the formula for everything after it. So, a slew of weapons. You can upgrade the weapons once the bar is filled, so it encourages you to continue using like your favorite weapons, and they get stronger, so you can continue using your favorite weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you get the experience bar where you can increase your life, so you don't have 3-4 hits like the first game. You can get up to I think like 80, 100 health bubbles or something, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Because you find the nanotech upgrades and you can increase it over time. No, the experience bar was 3. The nanotech upgrades was 2. And then you have armor vendors in this one. So let's say you're having trouble with the game's difficulty, because it does get kind of ridiculously hard in certain sections. The arena battles can get pretty tough. Hover bike races, all that stuff. Well, you have armor vendors, and you can get 4 additional pieces of armor. So that's really cool. That led to a lot of the aesthetic change in the future ones. So everything that Going Commando did, I think it's called Locked and Loaded everywhere else.
Those
I'm not
puns are
mistaken.
inappropriate for other worlds, you know?
There's Deadlock.
Well, Deadlock is the fourth one. I think Ratchet and Clank 2 is also called Locked and Loaded. I think I saw that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh. So I just remember Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal.
Oh, well, the commercials were really, really funny for this game when they came out. Very, very, very memorable. It's
edgy.
Always the, it's edgy humor, using the guns, to change other things into animals and whatnot. What was what was the changer in this one?
The changer?
What?
Yeah. You had the morph gun. There's always a morph gun in a Ratchet and Clank game.
I don't remember. Hold on.
I don't remember which one it was in this one.
Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely on the same page as you, Kevin, with the story, because what made the first one kind of really interesting was the evil enemy taking over different worlds and pieces to create his own Nazi propaganda world.
Ah, yes, good, right?
It all comes full circle. All games from all these times are all about that.
The most political cast we've ever done.
Video games are essentially Nazi propaganda, is what we're trying to say.
Oh boy.
9, I'm just kidding. Come on.
Yeah, but the story in this one, it really did feel kind of bland. With there's an evil corporation, go stop them. Like,
yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then Captain Quark being revealed to be the actual villain, where he was Fidge Widget, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or no, Fidge Widget was the hostage. No.
Who?
Quark took over as Fidge Widget in his place. That's what it was.
Too much plot for a Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah. No, it's not. It was fine.
It was fine.
But it
wasn't much more than what you'd see in the first game.
No. It was really fine. But
that's kind of the letdown, right?
Yeah.
That's the letdown in itself.
But like I knew I couldn't trust Fizz Widget was a big fat dude, right? That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew
he was the CEO,
right,
dude.
Yeah. So I knew from the beginning of the game, like, I don't trust this guy at all. Like, the clear plot twist incoming, like, was not shocked. You
weren't shocked it was Captain Quark? I really laughed when I remember when I first played this game, and I was like, it's Captain Quark. Not
that I didn't know it was going to be Quark, but I was like, I don't trust that guy, like, in general. Like, something about him just ain't right. Clear plot point. He's being very suspicious. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good game. It's not bad. It's just more Ratchet and Clank, which, that is a good thing overall. We need more Ratchet and Clanks, I think. But, yeah, I don't know. Play it, but don't really care for the story.
So, funny enough, I have played every single Ratchet and Clank game at least twice to completion.
Even Secret Agent Clank?
Even Secret Agent Clank on the PSP.
Ooh.
Yeah. Every single one. However, it made me realize I have only ever played Going Commando once. And I was asking myself why. Right?
Right.
And it's because 3 had the story over 2. And the final boss, I felt, in 2 was very unsatisfying. It was just the big blue ball creature thing rolling around. Right?
Yeah.
It's just a big beast. That was it. So, the payoff to even a story I wasn't totally behind, like, even though I love the controls, love the weapons, it improved so many things from the first one, I'm in the same camp as Kevin, where if you wanted more, then that's why 3 came out. And that's why it's regarded as arguably the best Ratchet and Clank game. Right?
See, I always heard Going Commando was the best one. That's what threw me off.
Well, see, I have read reviews and, like, PS2 rankings and all that, and I don't see it. I don't see Going Commando as one of the best PS2 games of all time, the best Ratchet and Clank. I don't see it. Maybe that's because it did do all this formulaic change, and that's what led to all the predecessors, right?
Right. It was the start of something.
Like, I love this game. I really do. But again, at the end of the day, as a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, I only played this one once. I've played it twice now because the podcast.
Right.
Did I complete it? No, I didn't have the time. So, I do pass the game, but if you asked me which Ratchet and Clank game I would go back and play, this probably wouldn't be one I would do.
No.
Ah, yeah.
So, it's a week pass? It's weird,
No,
because I really like it. Yeah.
I really like it, and I think it's a really good game. It deserves all its praise.
Yeah,
It's just, you're not going to lose sleep if you don't play it again.
But there's how many Ratchet and Clank games?
Yeah, too many.
And I think they're all better.
Right.
Well, okay, maybe
All for
Deadlock
One.
had
All
some
for One
issues.
is great. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, that game does exist.
Yeah.
Oops. Never mind. That's easily the worst one.
Quick question, since we're talking about Ratchet and Clank. So you said Deadlock has issues. Is it a frame rate issue?
No, it's just everything's arena battle.
Okay, because my buddy has a backwards compatible PS3, and Deadlock runs at like 12 frames a second on it.
So the backwards compatible PS3 has issues with there's a list of games you can look up that just don't. I don't know. There's something in the hardware that just can't play certain games, and I think a lot of the Ratchet and Clank series doesn't. There's something weird about it where it doesn't work properly, just in general.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you got to play Deadlocked on a PS2.
I guess I have to, maybe.
Yeah, Deadlock's really good. It's just all arena battles.
Yeah, but if you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, like you'll
Sweet.
know going into it. All right,
Neato.
Yeah.
last game.
I give this one a pass. Although,
Oh, yeah, right.
I would like to quickly offer a challenge to our listeners. Since Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal are rather inappropriate sounding subtitles of games, I would like to challenge you to come up with another humorous sounding inappropriate title for a Ratchet and Clank game. Give us your suggestions. We'll read them off on the next cast. Give a shout out to
Ratchet and Clank Nazi propaganda.
I'm going completely off the cuff with this challenge. I haven't consulted with the other guys. It just came to my mind. What do you
No,
guys
it's fine.
think?
Ratchet and Clank screwing the arse. I don't know. Because screws, get it?
Here we go. I'll put out a tweet right now. While Kevin, you go over your last game. Oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. You can get like $4. It's really cheap.
Read the stats for me, because I don't know shit what Vectorman 2 came out on, other than the Genesis and various Sega collections developed by Sega, I think.
I know it was published in. Was it developed by Sega? It was developed by Blue Sky Software.
Gotcha. Okay, so Vectorman 2.
Whom?
If you're going to say Blue Hole, that's different.
They did Ninja Golf.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
Basketball.
The only game.
They did Atari 7800 games. They did Dick Tracy on the Master System.
That wasn't that good, though?
No, well,
No, that was the Genesis version.
I thought they were both okay.
they were both okay. Let's see. Shadowrun. So we've covered oh, Ren and Stimpy. Stimpy's invention.
Look, they can't all be winners, okay, man?
All right. World Series Baseball 95. So they, Blue Sky Software has made they haven't made a lot of games, they've made some solid games. So Vectorman 2.
So it's Vectorman 2. You know how I can summarize Vectorman 2?
Okay.
A sequel-ass sequel.
A sequel. Came out
It's a
November
fu-
1996 for the Sega Genesis. Way after the fucking Saturn had come out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It came out late, but it still feels just like Vectorman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like that's
Oh, I haven't
here's
played the first one.
yeah, those are the look, if you played Vectorman 1, you played Vectorman 2. Honestly.
Makes sense.
Like I guess I picked both games that were that's more of that.
Makes
I
sense.
don't know, it was I played Vectorman 1. Granted, I cheated to beat it because I needed the the continue cheat, because like after you run out of lives, the game kind of like, you're fucked. So I used the level select code, and it was like, you cheater, you beat the game. And I'm like, fuck you, you don't know me. So I went into playing Vectorman 2. I played in the Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection on PS3, which is a must-own, by the way. And, yeah, it's Vectorman 2, all right. It's just a 2D platformer. It's got those silicone... They call them silicone graphics for Donkey Kong, right? That's what they're... Sure, whatever. Silicone.
Silicone balls.
Yeah. The game's really good at balls, man. I don't know. It's a solid 2D platformer. I almost want to call it a shooter because he technically shoots little sparkles, I guess. But it's all right. It's a pretty good game. It's solid. It's just fuck yeah, it's Vectorman. I don't know I don't know what else to say about it other than like, hey, it's more Vectorman 1. You know what? This would have been DLC if it came out today. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. I honestly feel like I was playing Vectorman 1 again. If I didn't close the menu out, I would not know any better.
So, you're this wild green dude with a machine gun going around on a level that's entirely too zoomed in.
Yes, that's Vectorman.
I couldn't see shit.
That's exactly what Vectorman does. It was all about the graphics, though. That's the thing. They wanted to show you the detail on that character sprite that they worked really hard on, so I wish you would appreciate it, JD.
Yeah, I mean, the machine gun is a cool little concept. I felt like this could have been, if it was zoomed out more and probably had more interesting level design, because honestly, it's so zoomed in, you don't know what the level design is or what it looks like, including a level where it's basically fucking dark the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Always a great level. People love those in games.
Yeah, I feel like they put all of the rendering and animation power into Vectorman himself and then kind of slacked off on the rest.
Which is weird to do when you say it came out when it did, because I feel like they'd be like, all right, look, you get what the Genesis did. We're going to do a Saturn now, so like, y'all can hang back. So why would you want to show off the graphical capability so late into the cycle?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. It's weird. I didn't know it came out that time. What did I learn?
Yeah, and interesting, it's apparently Vectorman is considered Nintendo's, or it's the answer to Nintendo's Donkey Kong Country.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Which, obviously, that did not turn out to be the case. It didn't answer a thing.
It showed up.
This game is really long, too. I was surprised with it. I played like 7 levels, and I go, I must be more than halfway through the game, right? There's like 22.
Oh,
Holy crap.
I didn't get through that many at all. I was like, this is too many.
Yeah, and they're all divided into like 5 or 6 parts or something.
Oh, yeah?
It's just super long. So, the whole idea behind Vectorman is interesting, because you do have this dude who can transform into different things, like a drill, a bomb, whatever. And he has a machine gun, so it's very Sega, right? It's very cool. All these things are cool. Radical, right?
Tubular,
bro!
You know, the enemies, you know, when you can see them, they're unique, but you have to kill them so fast before you even see them, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know, I thought with a sequel, because I have played the first Vectorman, it is on the Sega Genesis Collection you can get. I believe the second one is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So, I was like, okay. The first one came out like 3 years prior. Basically nearing the end of the Sega Genesis. Because the CD was out, the 32X, you know, they had that thing, that idea. Then the Saturn was coming out soon. So, with the sequel, sure, graphically, this game is ridiculous, right?
Right.
And the size of it is also ridiculous. I was very surprised. Now, when you have all these features in the first one that need to be clearly fixed, why was none of that fixed in the sequel?
Because you're too stupid to just understand the amazingness of this game.
Well, see, when you have the first one, it's more forgivable, right? It's your first try. Certain things can be improved over time. You know, improve that formula. Much like what we just discussed with Ratchet and Clank 2. You can have the same game, but as long as you improve all the elements that needed to be improved, then that makes the sequel good. It makes it very good. Mm-hmm. Vectorman 2 didn't do any of that. It just made it longer, and it made Vectorman himself look even better. That's not enough for me to really like the sequel, and that's why when you talk about just the Vectorman in general, you don't really think about the second one. You only talk about the first one.
I actually don't even know anybody that's played the second one.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I'm not shocked why this, what's it called, got killed off. Not killed off. I guess they just don't really, bring up Vectorman anymore, Sega.
Yeah. And it's such a simple solution to me. I just want to see the level. I just want to see Vectorman actually kill something, not when it's just coming on screen and I have to kill it in a split second, otherwise I'm going to get hurt. Right? Because Vectorman does do cool things in the second one. He can transfer into, a rhino and an ant, so very much kind of like a Wonder Boy transformation, or Donkey Kong's little animal friends that he rides.
Yeah.
So you definitely see the theme that they were going for. So
Nazi propaganda, obviously.
No, obviously,
Yeah.
Seems
it's like Brave New World in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
really,
really
right?
it is. Yeah.
And I felt the guns were very uninspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the laser shot, energy shot, and a machine gun, essentially.
I hated the laser beam firing sound effect. It was very obnoxiously loud.
Yeah, it was.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah.
Fucking lasers, man. It's the 90s. Lasers are fucking cool.
Lasers are cool, but they could have done more with it. They could have had it like bounce off walls, or any one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Negative.
And getting back to the enemies, I hated those tiny blue ceiling hangers that drop fireballs. Mm-hmm. They're really hard to hit, and it's really hard to avoid their projectiles. I lost so much health to those guys. They're hard to hit. I hate them.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but like I said, this really... Alright, so you know what? Maybe DLC wasn't the best way to describe it, because it's just like... It's bad DLC made by a different developer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. It's just... I don't know, Vectorman was okay. This game was just okay, but disappointing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I haven't played the first game, so I have no frame of reference, but yeah, I agree. This game is just okay as a standalone.
Yeah. For you, it might be worth going back and playing the first one to understand, like, why this is the way it is. But then you're just be like, they could have just stopped here and that would have been fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Would you be opposed to... I mean, we're seeing a new Earthworm Jim come out for the Amico.
Right, so we'll get ignored. Got it.
Would you be opposed to a Vectorman, another Vectorman game coming out?
No, but what I see them doing first is what they've done with like something like Rocket Knight is like you'll probably get some kind of like HD thing first, and then they'll see. But I don't know how you'd HD a game that looks like this because it'd probably look bad.
Exactly. You don't see HD Donkey Kong Country, right?
Donkey Kong Country Returns. Thank you. So.
That's a new game.
Shh, no.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to Vectorman making a return. I think he's a very interesting character, interesting gameplay. You just need to evolve it. You need to do something new with it.
Problem is, it's a game solely based around graphics, and like now that we're so... What's what I'm looking for? Like, we're so spoiled with graphics now, we'll just go, yep, Vectorman looks like a bunch of balls. Why? Like they'd have to really redesign
You brought up Donkey Kong Country Returns. How about Vectorman in the realm of that? Do you think that would work, or do you think he would lose all of his appeal then?
I think you would have to really redesign the character. Like,
I like the idea of you're a protagonist that can change and morph shape and become different things. It's really cool. It's a cool concept. I think it's easy enough, right?
Yeah. I agree.
But unfortunately, going off what I've said with a lot of these sequels, it kind of goes with that, is the sequel as good as the original? And Kevin, you said it. A lot of these games are just okay, right? So to me,
the thing, I guess it's yeah.
So to me, if there's easy improvements to be made from the original, and you didn't do it, or you messed something up like the hub world in Jak 2, with my opinion, of course, I'm failing Vectorman 2. Something so simple as zooming out would have made this game immensely more enjoyable.
Oof.
So, it's a fail.
Yeah,
okay.
I just barely give it a pass, but I probably won't go back to it.
Game's alright. Not really dying to play it again, so I don't know.
So,
I so badly wanna like pass it, but again, it's just failed potential, so maybe fail, unfortunately. But it's not the worst game.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
So Vectorman 2 goes for about $9. I don't know about that.
Just get on one of the... You know what? Here's what you do if you want to play Vectorman 2. Go buy one of the every Sega collections ever, and then it'll be on there. And then you can be like, well, I bought other good games that came with this, so...
There you go. Yeah.
Problem solved. I helped you. Look at me.
So, I'll go first. I never go first. Favorite, least favorite of the cast. Once I go through the games once more, we played Wonder Boy and Monsterland on the Sega Master System, Donkey Kong Jr., ColecoVision, NES, among others, Jak 2, PS2, Sonic Adventure 2, Dreamcast, Ratchet and Clank 2, PS2, and Vectorman 2, the Sega Genesis. My favorite is probably going to be Ratchet and Clank 2.
Which is so weird with how we talked about it.
Yeah,
but,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the most memorable game on the list. I think it plays the best. The story left me with much more to be desired. The end boss was very... it was a letdown. But with the controls and how much fun I had playing it, that's why I'm ranking it the best. My least favorite... This one's a lot tougher, but I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna think with which game am I the least interested in playing more of, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to give that to Vectorman 2. Actually,
Not Sonic Adventure, really?
really, because I think Sonic Adventure 2 is a very close contender. However, with how much it improved from the first one, that's why it's getting the edge over Vectorman 2. While Vectorman 2, I felt, did none of that.
Yeah, your furry fanboys will be waiting outside your door, no problem.
Alright, so there you go. Who next?
Colin.
I'll go. My most favorite, it's a bit of a tough decision between Ratchet and Clank 2 and Jak 2, but I think I'm going to give it to Jak 2. Because that one had a more defined plot. Had all the gameplay I loved from the first game and more. I just enjoyed it the most, and it's the one I'm most likely to go back to. And then for least favorite, I'm gonna say Wonder Boy. Just
Oof.
least
I
interesting.
think he did that to spite you. Don't believe him, JD.
Hey, I didn't fucking pick Jak 2, so come on.
You insulted his game, therefore he's like, you know what, fuck you and fuck Wonder Boy.
In breaking news, my mom has discovered her Tesla has Atari games installed in the dashboard.
Really?
Yeah, that was random that it does that. They were like very proud of that, and like Elon Musk is like actively trying to get Atari rights, by the way. It's weird, and I don't think he understands that, like, look man, an iPod played these. So yeah, that was the thing. I guess favorite. I'm with you on the Ratchet and Clank. Even though we talked the way we did about it, it's still not a bad game. It's still really fun. I'm definitely gonna probably continue the series. Least favorite, I'm going with Sonic.
Oh.
Fuck you, furry.
I think we know Kevin's opinion on that.
Don't let them breed, is my point. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Sonic.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to support Nazi propaganda games either.
Honestly, that's my number one reason. So not only do you have furries, you have Nazi propaganda as well. This game is just garbage. But like, I don't know. If Sonic did one campaign more than 3, I would be more inclined to like it more. But like, there's too much game and too much exposition for a fucking blue hedgehog that runs fast.
I don't like the way you said blue.
I don't like the way you know what? Heil. Anyway, like, but like, there's too much Sonic. Like, it was too much Sonic going on in that game.
Man.
And honestly, if you really think about it, Eggman's mustache is just like the most reverse Hitler. Like, it's parted in the middle and it's grown out on the edges. They couldn't fool me.
All right. So, this has been episode 43 of the Red Leaf Retrocast, theme of sequels. Please go check out
42.
Yeah, right. 42.
We just went over this in the beginning. No, we went over this in the beginning. 42 is the right number.
So,
come on.
Please go and check out the Discord retro community that we're partnered up with and a part of, called Retro Twitch. You can go hit them up on Twitter to find the Discord link. At RetroTwitch.com, C-O-M. And Colin here has a Twitter handle. It is called @MogJam23, so go follow him. He has a whopping 3 followers, so maybe we can get him to double digits soon enough. Maybe he needs a picture.
Yeah, that would definitely probably
on his
help.
Twitter,
if I had
so he
one,
doesn't look like a fake person.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know who that was when they started following me. Like, who the hell is this, and what do you want from me?
And
send me the
head over to Anime Radicals. Episode just came out over myself and a few others reviewing the Battle Angel Alita movie. That is a podcast conglomeration of a number of different anime casts, so go check them out as well. And who's got the next theme pick? I believe it's your turn, Colin. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you picked it out already.
Yep. Action RPGs.
Oh, so
there we
long.
go. So now you guys will finally be forced to play Kingdom Hearts.
That's where you're wrong, because no, I won't.
You don't have a choice,
so
pal.
I've already played 1 and 2, and I fucking hate myself for it.
There's your hint for the future.
All right, here's my review of Kingdom Hearts. Fuck it.
We'll get there in a couple weeks. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Sonic is Nazi propaganda confirmed.